Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're going to explore a fascinating topic that's often overlooked in web development, using Twig path within JavaScript, and why Twig ignores the raw filter. If you're working on a project that involves templating with Twig and JavaScript, this video is for you. Twig is an incredibly powerful templating engine used by many PHP frameworks, including Symfony. It allows developers to separate presentation logic from application logic, making it easier to maintain and update their codebase. However, when it comes to integrating Twig with JavaScript, things can get a bit tricky. That's what we're going to dive into today. So, let's start by understanding how Twig works. In a typical web application, you have your PHP backend rendering templates using Twig. Within these templates, you can use Twig syntax to display dynamic data and perform conditional logic. However, when it comes to integrating JavaScript with these templates, the story changes. When you try to access a Twig path within JavaScript, things don't quite work as expected. The issue arises because Twig processes the template before it's rendered in the browser. This means that any JavaScript code trying to access the Twig path will be executed after Twig has already processed the template. To illustrate this point, let's consider an example. Suppose you have a Twig template with a variable e2t path, my route, that generates a URL for a specific route. If you try to access this variable within JavaScript using something like var myPath, path, my route, it won't work as expected. The reason is that Twig will ignore the raw filter, which means it will process the path function before rendering the template. By the time your JavaScript code tries to access the variable, the Twig syntax has already been replaced with the actual URL. So, what can you do about it? One possible solution is to use a different approach to generate URLs within your JavaScript code. Instead of relying on Twig's path function, you could create a separate API endpoint that returns the required URL. For instance, you could create an API route, API-URLs, that takes the route name as a parameter and returns the corresponding URL. Your JavaScript code can then make an AJAX request to this API endpoint to retrieve the URL. Another approach is to use a library like Fostius routing bundle, which allows you to generate URLs within your JavaScript code using Twig's routing functionality. This way, you can keep using Twig's path function within your templates and still be able to access the generated URLs within your JavaScript code. So, what are from today's discussion? Firstly, when working with Twig and JavaScript, remember that Twig processes templates before they're rendered in the browser. This means that any JavaScript code trying to access Twig paths will be executed after Twig has already processed the template. Secondly, Twig ignores the raw filter when processing templates. This is why you can't directly access Twig variables within your JavaScript code. Lastly, there are workarounds available to generate URLs within your JavaScript code. You can either create a separate API endpoint or use a library like Fostius routing bundle. That's it for today's video. We hope this explanation has helped you understand why Twig ignores the raw filter and how to access Twig paths within JavaScript. We hope you learned. If you have any questions or need further clarification, please don't hesitate to ask in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, please like and share it with your fellow developers. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more tutorials, explanations, and tips on web development. Thanks again for watching, and we'll catch you all in the next video.